Yo, what's up, guys? What I want to talk about today is basically, if you never give up, you can't lose. You can't lose if you never give up. You know what I mean? Because let's look at it from this lens. Let's say you try something, right? And I don't know, like you lose, like you fail, or you take a rejection, or I don't know, you someone else takes your spot, whatever it could be, you know? Like you might think, man, I lost, I'm a failure. But, or let's say, I don't know, you're trying to become like a, I don't know, an athlete or like a musician or a star, social media trend influencer, whatever. And I don't know, you're going at it for like, let's say months. You're going at it for months on end, and you don't know, like, you just, no matter what you do, you can't succeed. You're posting as many videos as you can. You're I don't know, you're doing self promo. You're doing all of the bells and whistles. You're working with the algorithm. You're posting nonstop consistently. You're dedicated and you're focused on your grind. But listen, you cannot lose if you never stop trying. If you just don't give up. I know that sounds cliche, but it's true. If you never stop trying, how can you lose? Like how? You just can't, because you're still in the process of trying. You know what I mean? Like, you can't lose. Simple as I say, you can't lose. Like, because the only way you lose is if you stop trying, because then you put down the sword. Then you're like, okay, well, I kept trying, you know, this is not working out, I'm putting down the sword. That is when you lose. But if you just keep going, it doesn't matter if you take an L here or there, or a bunch. Just because you have one L doesn't mean you have an OSE after it. You know what I mean? L's are just a natural part of the process. Because you cannot lose if you keep trying. Because you haven't won yet, but you haven't lost yet. You're still in the battle. As long as you're in the battle, you're good to go. So just, you know, keep trying. It's not over until you win. But just because, you know, you don't give up, you keep persevering, doesn't mean that's what's gonna make you win. Sometimes to get something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done before. So what that means is, let's say you've been trying to cut down a tree for the longest time, and you know what? That's a bad analogy, because eventually you just keep persevering and being consistent with the tree. But let's say, I don't know, like you're trying to drill a hole into like a rock, right? Or trying to ice sculpt, and you're not getting any better by just not giving up. Like, oh, I'm gonna drill a hole into this ice block constantly, and eventually I'm gonna get it. Like, yeah, you're never giving up, but at that point you're not progressing. You're not putting yourself in a position where you're going to improve. You're just doing the same thing again and again, and that's not gonna help you, because obviously if you're trying to make a ice sculpture, you don't just drill into it. You gotta follow techniques. You gotta layer. You gotta build a foundation below. So what does that mean for you? What that means for you is, sometimes you need to think outside the box. You need to try a different strategy. You need to find another way to get yourself into that league that you desire to be in. You know what I mean? Like, just sticking to the same routine, especially if it hasn't worked before, isn't recommended. But there is a difference between trying something new and trying to be consistent at something. Maybe you haven't been consistent at this one attempt you've been trying, and that consistency is what's going to take you to that next level. That is different than taking a new strategy. Both are great options, by the way. Just, it depends on what you're doing at this point. Because sometimes, like for example, going to the gym, right? You can try all these different techniques, you can do all this, whatever, but you're really not going to see any results until you're consistently in there every day, training that muscle, you know, developing it. Then, only then, when you're consistent, then you see results. It's very dependent on what you do. Like maybe other things is like a one-shot kind of thing, like applying for a job. You know, you can keep applying for jobs, but you know, it definitely increases your chances. But that one job that said yes to you, imagine you applied for that one as your first attempt, you know? But then other people can argue that all the experience and interview practice that you did getting from applying to all those other jobs helps you. So yeah, just, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta figure out your balance, and you gotta figure out what you need to do and how you're going to do it. But the number one thing is, don't give up, because like I said, if you don't give up, you can't lose. You can't lose. You can't. You just can't. So just don't give up. That's the main message. And keep trying to be consistent. But if the thing that you're trying isn't working, then maybe you got to take a different strategy, because to get something you've never had, you got to do something you've never done. And sometimes that doing something that you've never done is being consistent. So look at your situation, evaluate, and see what is the best action. What can I do? But more importantly, believe and trust in yourself, because you don't lose by taking a couple L's. You just take a couple L's, and that's normal. You have to L before you win. You know what I mean? So stay consistent. That's the key. That's the key, I'm telling you. And it'll all work out. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. I'm telling you, don't give up on whatever it is. I believe in you. And more importantly, what really matters is that you believe in you. Believe in yourself, because 70% of what this world is your thoughts, your mind. If you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you? Especially if you're trying to appeal to a mass audience. Believe in yourself and believe in what you're doing. And I believe in you. I believe in every person that they can achieve greatness as long as they apply themselves. And yeah, thank you for watching.